JT definitely expressed that a lot too in her interviews about like, I used to be scared to wear certain stuff. It's kind of hard to see a black girl with this big nose and big lips. And she wanted to represent like not only that I am a black woman, but I'm a dark skinned woman in this fashion space. And I just want to just change the way that like female rappers are perceived.
Miami Beach, one of the world's most popular destinations.
Me and JT used to spend a lot of time growing up with that Balenciaga block.
I used to be going over her house, and I don't know what I'm going over there for, bitch. You about to get killed every week.
They're called the 22nd Avenue Players, and police say they're a dangerous street gang responsible for dozens of assaults and robberies in the Liberty City and West Little River areas.
What's up, it's JT, the City Cinderella, all the way from the motherfucking 305. Y'all might know me from No Bars. No Bars.
Hi, my name is Noah. I am a content creator, have been for like, I don't know, like 5 or 6 years now. I go by the Closet Archive, and I'm a stylist and just content creator, making about fashion commentary and like also pop culture as well.
If you want to say you something, then you that. We legends. What's the problem? What y'all gonna do, snatch us through the phone?
Jativia Johnson, better known by her stage name JT, is rebranding and branching out of the City Girls duo. In the past year, along with releasing the City Girls' third studio album, Raw, she released 2 singles, No Bars and Sideways, and hop on some diverse features. Her collaborations with younger and alternative fashion brands such as Poster Girl and Moa Loa signify a sharp turn from the original City Girls branding. With this change has come increased scrutiny and some confusion. In 2018, the Miami rap duo emerged on the scene and altered the landscape of not only female rap, but hip-hop. The second rap group and first female rappers signed to Kevin Coach K. Lee and Pierre P. Thomas hip-hop label Quality Control Music. Their notable label mates include Migos, Lil Yachty, and Lil Baby. The first commercially successful rap duo since Salt and Pepper, they broke into the female rap market at prime time. Reigning queen Nicki Minaj was having a disastrous rollout for her 4th studio album and toying with the idea of retirement. Her heightened feud with Quality Control affiliated rapper Cardi B and unsavory media press made fans and listeners of the genre craving for other sources. The City Girls' debut mixtape and album were all released within a year and under peculiar circumstances. At the time of the 2018 studio releases, JT pleaded guilty to aggravated identity theft related to credit card fraud. She surrendered herself to authorities that summer and served nearly 2 years in federal prison. Completing the 2018 projects was a large feat, with both rappers locked in the studio until JT's surrender date. Speaking to Billboard, Young Miami reflected on the time and their brief moments of rest, usually short trips to food or convenience store spots outside their Miami studio. Me and JT would get margaritas. JT liked Pringles and those sour gummy worms, and I like hot Cheeto Puffs. We were in that bitch full and tired, she said. Their Miami mannerisms and lingo changed the gears on how female rappers were sounding and rapping about. An ode to other Florida rappers such as Trina and Jackie O, the term stripper music was used disparagingly by male colleagues and some hip-hop fans to describe their lyrical classification, but that didn't stop their shine. Their lives and banter with fans resulted in viral clips and catchphrases. Everyone started saying period and City Girl Summer, trending along with Megan Thee Stallion's Hot Girl Summer. Since then, the City Girls have released 2 additional albums and feature runs that are quite impressive, but some argue today that the music isn't hitting the same. Despite this, both women have diverted a complete fall-off in rap through their high-profile relationships and separate creative endeavors. Carisha landed her own podcast through Diddy's Revolt, titled Carisha Please, and JT has become a fashion darling with skillful bars, with fans salivating at her potential solo career as a rapper. The shift in JT's current public perception is interesting, particularly the pushback she receives from her current appearance and more edgier looks, often laced with misogynoir and transphobia. Can hood black girls not be eccentric, awkward, and sometimes weird? Or is this trope only reserved for a certain type of black woman?
I always think y'all got a motherfucking opinion. Y'all think y'all opinion matter, bitch. Go clock in, pussy ass hoe. Fuck is wrong with you, bitch?
The City Girls were really like shamed profusely for their lyricism and kind of their lingo because it was seen as kind of hood or ratchet. I would say like the similar critique that Sexy Red gets now.
Right. We love the idea of like a hood culture, but then we also discredit it at the same time. It's crazy how we literally uplift that whole aesthetic
Yeah.
into that whole lifestyle, but then we also shame that lifestyle at the same time. Is there like a balance to like, what do you really want actually? Do you actually really want authentic female rappers from the hood, or do you want like watered down versions of it? Like, I don't know. I can give examples, not to be rude or shady, but like,
So reflecting now on the City Girls rise, it was definitely like a rise of trap feminism within like hip hop feminism. Trap feminism was started by Cicely B, who's also on TikTok now and on YouTube.
I wanted to make it clear that like there was something about hood black girls that was special and not just for y'all mood board.
When I put the terms hip hop and feminism together, most people just sort of felt like that couldn't possibly exist in the same phrase, sentence.
In a 2014 blog post, Cecily Boland wrote, "Within trap music, access to women's bodies and sexuality are usually viewed as perks for men with newly acquired wealth. But if you're a trap feminist like myself, you'll find that women are occasionally active agents, negotiating the terms under which they use their bodies and sexuality. Travis Porter's Make It Rain is an excellent example. In the chorus, a woman rhymes, 'You want to see some ass? I want to see some cash.' The entire song is a response to this demand. It's a small, combative response, but the demand is met. When we step away from the filter that views women like this, as victims to a male-dominated sector, and instead accept them as independent agents navigating their daily spaces, we're able to seek and find trap feminism."
I know on like TikTok and social media, people have done their fan theories. Like I looking at JT's interviews, especially the one that she did with Angie Martinez, she's always remained like positive about Carisha.
Yes.
They both have not publicly like said anything They're charging about each other.
Never. It's never a point, and everyone likes to critique their relationship a lot.
Yes.
They're critique it way too much. I don't think that they're used to seeing like black girls not be happy, like smiling and being like, "Yeah, it's my bestie right here." Because Carisha is a just dead phase.
2020 vision, city girls winning, copping us bullshit. Bitch, we winning.
They both like have taken such distinctive paths, and I think that's ultimately like traced back to relationships because JT chooses Uzi and like Carisha chooses like Diddy, and like you know when I think about like old money and new money aesthetics, and if we like apply that to hip hop, like Diddy. Diddy is like a foundational hip hop gatekeeper. He's definitely old money, while as Uzi's more new money. He does like emo and punk rock stuff. He's like a newcomer.
Yeah, he's changing the culture shift to like what black men should be like. Yeah, very much. Well, also he's not binary, so black them should be like,
And that's clearly affected in the ways that they've changed their brandings. I mean, Carisha is definitely stuck with the trap feminist model, you know, like get that money, even though Diddy's had some pretty bad press in the recent weeks. And I remember when they started dating, I definitely thought it was just a sugar dating arrangement, and I still think still think it's sugar dating. I think it's heavily sex work. I don't really
think they're actually seriously dating at all. I don't know what it is. Honestly, if I'm being real with you about relationships and also about the patriarchy, I personally believe that a lot of people think that people have monogamous relationships. People really think that it's still a man and a woman that have a house and kids. But then when it comes to celebrity culture, when they find out people cheat and all this kind of stuff like that, especially when it comes to Diddy and Carisha, understand that there's different types of relationships that people are not willing to expand on, especially if you're like a straight cis person that's never experienced any type of queer culture. Because like for me and like my friends, and also being a queer space, it's like I'm so used to seeing polyamory or like just bisexual people or like pansexual, where it's like you're able to just don't really care about like the same patriarchy mindset of like it's a two household. Like, no, this is their lifestyle. Most likely Diddy does what he wants to do, and Carisha does whatever she wants to do. That's what I think the dynamic is. And honestly, I think that a lot of celebrities have that dynamic. And no one wants to talk about it, but like great example would be like Jada and Will. Like they probably have a dynamic too, where it's like if I have an open relationship. But I don't know why everyone likes to see themselves in other people to think that like, yeah, it's a closed relationship, but that's for you. But a lot of people like to have, you know, different options. It's kind of weird to have all the same stuff, you know? So.
I'm in LA this week shooting the Poster Girl campaign with Francesca and Natasha, and we are shooting JT, Gabriette, and Daphne.
I think JT his main influence, I would want to say is definitely Uzi. I think Uzi gives her a little bit more, just because her obsession with Rick Owens. You know what I mean? That alt black, like coquettish kind of aesthetic. Vogue talked about an article with JT, explaining like all of her styles and what she wants to go into, and it pretty much go into detail, being like JT loves this subversive and coquettish kind of aesthetic. And the way that she describes herself too in her style is literally just like, I'm not necessarily like an alt girl, but I'm kind of the mixture of alt and doll. I want to be that in between point, being like an alt feminine kind of baddie. That's what she wants to be. And you can tell by wearing like the Rick Owens or her wearing like Jean Paul Gaultier. Like JT definitely expressed that a lot too in her interviews about like, I used to be scared to wear certain stuff. It's kind of hard to see a black girl with this big nose and big lips. And she wants to represent like, not only that I am a black woman, but I'm a dark-skinned woman in this fashion space. And I just want to just change the way that like female rappers are perceived, instead of having that kind of like hood culture, kind of like easy, kind of sweetie, kind of like, you know what I mean? But now into this, like, I am trying to solidify myself in a different avenue and also promote those brands as well. That's different.
Yeah. And I think most people forget, like, she's always had an interest in fashion. Like, when you look back at her older lives, she's always seems like really well put together, like very hyper feminine. Like, I've never seen a bad photo of JT. Like, some of those looks are like.
She said that too. She said that with the interview mag with Kali Uchis. She mentioned that in there too. She was like, I've always been a bad girl. Like, there's never a time I've never looked like nasty, ugly. I hate bad photos of myself. I want to be perceived as always beautiful, gorgeous, put together. There's never a time you're gonna see me looking like a mess. You know what I mean? And also when she said that too in the interview magazine with Kali, she talked about how like, oh yeah, you know, I've always loved makeup. I've always loved fashion. It's just that now I have more access to it because I never had it before. So yeah.
This Carisha, yes or no? Come on, because I already was in them DMs looking pussy, and I don't play that shit. Is this Carisha?
He's a great man.
I love the way you talk about him.
Yeah, he's a great man.
Sources claim St. John and the former Miss Little Uzi Vert, Brittany Bird, were at the restaurant working on a business project. That's when Little Uzi pulled up in a Cadillac Escalade, confronting the table, and eventually swinging and missing St. John altogether.
Bro, stop playing me if I embarrass you on this shit. Is this Carisha?
During an episode of Revolt's Respectfully Justin, JT disclosed her first date with Little Uzi Vert happened during her stay at Atlanta safe house. The rapper was newly released from federal prison and under supervision, noting she had to make the date quick due to her curfew. The date consisted of Uzi gifting JT a large sum of money, a fast food stop, and shopping at a nearby Louis Vuitton store. Until the couple made it official, speculation around the relationship persisted, and both occasionally dropped hints around their status on social media. In 2021, Little Uzi Vert and JT made their official debut as a couple on the British fashion magazine Arena Plus. For many onlookers, the pairing was a bit odd considering their individual brands. Little Uzi Vert is an alternative Philadelphia rapper who rose to fame during rap's SoundCloud era. The era was a period during the mid to late 2010s when mainstream rap once again shifted drastically. Utilizing the Swedish audio streaming service SoundCloud, emerging rappers didn't have to release music the traditional way. Most drop huge catalogs of self-produced work to the public for free without the backing of a record label, building underground fan bases that would grow in size and ultimately launch them into the mainstream. Some notable rappers from this era include Lil Yachty, Playboi Carti, and Juice WRLD. From their awkward and sometimes shy persona interviews to their viral shoulder roll, Little Uzi Vert was different in a hyper-masculine genre. While Uzi has stated they are not gay, queer themes have always lingered in their image, similar to Atlanta rapper Young Thug, who faced criticism and homophobia due to his love of genderless clothing. In 2022, Uzi quietly switched their pronouns to they, them on Instagram. Speaking to 032C magazine about the change, Uzi said, "No, I never hesitated, but I did take time to learn as much as I could about this before I was able to proceed. Taking the time to figure out who you are is the big part of what it means to be alive. Once you figure that out, whether you're here with it, there with it, or both, you're not alone anymore." In 2018, the City Girls were exposed for colorist and homophobic tweets. The men they idolize in their lyrics don't really fit Uzi aesthetics, with the obsession of they being really wealthy. At the start of their relation, their respective fan bases didn't see it for each other. For Uzi fans, JT didn't fit into their emo and punk rock aesthetics like his ex-girlfriend Brittany Bird. Her then Logomania and Miami fashions dwarf in comparison to Uzi's love for Rick Owens and collaborations with Virgil Abloh. For JT fans, Uzi's queer-coded image didn't align with the City Girls' ideal partner. Along with queerphobia directed at Uzi, JT was constantly masculized in the relationship by social media.
I think that JT is very intentional with her pieces. Like almost every time she does a photo shoot, it's never like she's going out there every single day doing a look, but like she has a very intentional team. Her stylist is Miss O'Dam. Miss O'Dam has been styling her for the last couple years because her previous stylist unfortunately has passed away in a car accident. Her previous stylist was Monica.
Is that
Sun.
Monica? Oh, okay. That was
Monica.
Monica she always references.
Yes. So Monica's son is the reason why she dressed the way right now. Like she really did shape JT into like being more confident in trying new things, trying like to wear like a beautiful like leather cutout dress by Jean Paul Gaultier, or wearing just like Wick Owens. Like she's really stepping out of herself to be a little more different than the other girls. A lot of girls just wear a lot of the basic two pieces stuff you see at Fashion Nova, or like stuff that's kind of easy that I can just pull up at Fair 21, like very dupable outfits. The thing that JT wears are like statement pieces. Like she reminds me of Little Kim and Foxy Brown so much that she referenced to in Vogue as well. And that she gets a lot of inspo for these women to make sure she wants to have a legacy of fashion. Kind of like Cardi B. I can only compare honestly to like when it comes to like signature looks, I can only compare her to literally like Doja Cat, Rico Nasty, and definitely Cardi B. Because every time I see these women, it's like something I've never seen before. When it comes to the hairstyles, when it comes to the makeup, when it comes to the production value of the outfits, like I've never seen someone have a very consistent, like clean, like they have a good vision where they want to go. You know what I mean?
In 2011, the comedy web series The Misadventures of Awkward Black Girl premiered on YouTube. Created and written by Issa Rae, the series would usher in a new media trope, centering the complicated identity of Black womanhood. The awkward Black girl is a Black woman or femme who doesn't fit into societal classifications of Black femininity. Their interests are in the niche side, and their personalities are easily misunderstood upon first glance. Reflecting on her revolutionary series and media portrayal of Black women at the time, Rae said, "To me, it was just making it clear there wasn't one type of Black woman. At the time, it was just a reality show depiction of Black female behavior that the world was seeing. Of course, those types of women exist and they have the right to exist, but that was like a caricature, and the women on these shows know what they're playing into. They're playing the villain, they're playing the sassy role, and that makes for good TV, and it's entertaining, but that's not necessarily a representation of all Black women." Through her web series, Issa Rae was able to secure a multi-season deal with HBO for the Insecure comedy drama television series. And in film and television, other Black girl media was created, such as the British comedy Chewing Gum. Furthermore, awkward and quirky Black girls exist in characters such as the Bear Cindy, and even all the way back to the Color Purple Celie. Through social media apps, especially TikTok, the awkward Black girl has gone beyond just a media trope. Black women sharing their niche hobbies and presence in alternative spaces. And on the subject of ableism, neurodivergent Black women educating their audiences on the stigma associated with being different. On her No Bars song, JT rapped, "Hood bitch dressed like a weirdo," a testament to her developed identity. Looking back at the awkward Black girl categorization, it's clear that JT is not included in this mix, even though she meets the majority of the classifications. Along with her alternative style, JT has talked about her anxiety issues and the constant misperceptions about her personality in the media, most notably that she's mean or rude. Unfortunately, one of the main components associated with the awkward or quirky Black girls is their proximity to whiteness, particularly their perceived easy assimilation into non-Black culture, aka Black things. Also, most of the popular and mainstream awkward Black girls in media are upperly mobile and well-educated Black women, underlying the classism struggle within the trope. From her accent to her physical features, JT is very Black and very hood.
The while photo shoot though, that was the most weirdest backlash thing I've ever seen, because like if Doja does that, there's no pushback. You'd be like, oh my god, she's being weird, she's being quirky, you know what I mean? Like there's no pushback when she does it. So I don't understand the hate. She did talk about that too in Essence magazine. She pretty much said that like you guys never see a dark-skinned woman like this trying to do something different, and you guys always put us in the same spot. I'm trying to get girls that are dark like me, big nose, big lips, just different. Like I'm trying to get my features, okay, a Black woman features on these magazines. I'm trying to push the pen and push these photo shoots to do something different, and I just find it discouraging to like no one supports me in that process. But the thing is about JT, I don't think she really cares about the opinions. I think she's gonna keep on doing it because she's JT. She's JT. You know what I mean?
I be wanna know, like, when y'all talk shit or y'all make like mean comments, like what do y'all think they're gonna get y'all? Like a reply is not that important. Like what if one day I see you and I punch you in your fucking mouth? Like what if that really, really happens? Like you just behind this phone, right? And you just type in, and then I screenshot you, I remember you, and then when I see you, I punch you. All because you care so much about a reply. And the reply I'm gonna give you is,
but I don't know. I'm very like in the middle of the spaces, but I do believe that women really do have to work like 3 times as hard as if like a male rapper to be seen. So you have to have the theatrics, which is the video, the looks, the stylist. That's why it says it costs so much money to have a girl on the label. That's why we didn't have so many girls for the longest time when Nicki was here, right? It costs so much money to have a girl on there because you have to give them more attention for it because it's male dominated and it's super hard to get in those spaces. I remember Lotto said that about an interview, and not interview magazine. It was with XSL magazine when she did the freestyle class with like Flo Milli and Maya the Don, all those beautiful rappers.
Yeah.
And she was talking about how like females have to work triple times hard to do everything from the production to the lighting to everything you guys we don't even think about. They have to do everything themselves. And then on top of it, they have to earn respect in the game without not being, I guess, too sexualized. It's such a weird dominant
Weird balance,
like,
juxtaposition.
Okay, now let's talk about how this really went down. I went from refashioning fashion to have fashion refashion me.
Yeah, I feel like with Little Kim and Foxy, like, I'm not saying we can have them again. It's kind of hard to have those kind of moments because the idea of an it girl is almost kind of like fading away. It's a way that we really don't know much about them, but they always have the most amazing outfits and looks. Little Kim and Foxy are probably one of the first female rappers to really collaborate with so many brands over and over again, to be photoshopping, to be like on photo shoots, and also to be like invited to these fashion shows. The way that these women were able to look the way they look, like they're from the hood, like a hoochie mama aesthetic, but they're still able to translate that in their outfits too. I just didn't think that was ever going to happen at the time. And it's also a big influence too. Little Kim like really influenced Nicki Minaj in a sense, like the way that she wears her wigs, the having it spray painted, or the way that her eyes look, her makeup, and it's very intentional to how the ways that she really does look. Little Kim and Foxy also have like different type of aesthetic too. They're not exactly the same person. I would say Little Kim is very fashion. Like almost every piece you could probably name is probably old Jean Paul Gaultier dress or maybe old like Gucci dress. So you know exactly the designs on her. When it comes to Foxy, I've always felt like you don't know necessarily the designs, but she has style. Because Foxy, she wore brands, but a lot of times she really didn't. She kind of just went shopping and wore what she wanted to wear, and it looked really well on her too. And even going back in 2000s fashions too, when it comes to like Black culture in that sense, a lot of times they weren't really wearing like high-end brands to kind of get what they can get it, and they just styled it the best way they can though, so.
Avant-garde is French for, girl, what the hell are you wearing?
What do you think about rappers becoming like directors or becoming like these like figurheads in like fashion houses? Do you think they're just props or they're actually changing the culture, shifting it?
I don't know. It's a very good. I love the question too, Say. It was a very good question because I've always been thinking about it too. Because it started with Ye. It started with Kanye when it comes into going into fashion because he was very adamant. I need to get into it now. I need to wear Adidas. I need to get my own brand. I need to do something that's something different no one's ever done before. And like when you're having these Black men trying to go into fashion houses that have always been established to be racist, that always been established to be also designing for really racist companies. Like I don't know if you know, like Chanel, and there's another brand too. They literally used to make Nazi military.
Yeah.
A lot of
she was like a Nazi. She was a Nazi.
So like let you know how far this goes. Okay. So like the fact that we have like Kanye and then we have Virgil. Now with Virgil and Pharrell, I just feel like I do like what Virgil does, and I think it's very great and commendable, but I do feel like it's a facade. Like I feel like you have a Black man there, but who's your team behind you?
Yeah.
That's my team. Like you have Pharrell, a great example. Pharrell's the creative director of Louis Vuitton right now, right? But behind him, it's only just like European or like white people behind him, like actually working the designs. Because that's a creative director. You're not actually like actually sewing the stuff, but you have a say so like how you want the piece to look, how you want this to look, how you want the runway to be presented, the models you probably, you know what I'm saying? Like that's the kind of the creative direction that you actually have, right? But you can also pick the team you have. You can pick the designers, You pick the people that like tailor the clothes. You can pick everyone there. But like behind him for his first show and his second show, it's just like white people there. I don't understand. Like, great. I love that they're here, but they're not even giving access to Black women. I want to say this. I want to preface this. They're not giving Black women these opportunities behind the scenes. I feel like these Black men just keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger and promoting a lot of more Black men as creative directors. But you're forgetting all the Black women that style Kanye, that style Pharrell, and that style Virgil. Like, do you not remember these women that styled you? They should be the creative director next, to be honest.
Appropriated by like white consumers. Like, I mean, when it comes to like girls like becoming a staple in like fashion jewelry now. It's like, when is everyone getting girls that can afford girls?
I just that too. Yeah. I think TikTok for a lot of culture impact being really messed up right now. For example, as TikTok became really big, streetwear, resale culture, all these like white people getting into it way more than what people were. Just watered down, and it's so much harder to get these shoes. So much harder to get into Jordans and Nike. It's super hard to get certain stuff that used to get before streetwear. It becomes